All right, looks like we are sitting ready at the line here in the women's varsity pair for the Morrow Bowl. 6 boats here in this race. We've got William and Mary in lane 1, Loyola, Maryland in lane 2, Long Island in lane 3, Simmons in lane 4, Oklahoma City in lane 5, and Lafayette in lane 6. And they are off here in the women's varsity pair. Take a look here. Looks like all boats are moving fairly straight. Looks like a little bit of an issue there in our lane 3 boat as they drift over into lane 2. And you can see they're riding that port line, not just in lane 2, but also in lane 4. So that's Long Island and Simmons there, both riding the port side of their lane. Count Oklahoma City among that group as well. So all 3 of those boats now moving back into the center of their lanes, and we are underway here in the Morrow Bowl for the women's varsity pair. Long Island was the time trial winner in this event yesterday. And in their semifinal, they won by just about 6 seconds over the Oklahoma City boat, who currently sits in first. In the second semifinal, the winner was that Simmons boat by just about 6 seconds over Loyola, Maryland, who currently sits in second place out of lane 2. But with that steering adjustment needed from Long Island and Simmons early on, it seems like those 2 boats are now on the attack, trying to get back into this one. You can see the Long Island boat now moving through Loyola in this first 500, trying to go with Oklahoma City as they attempt to open up their lead on the rest of the field. But at the moment, it's Oklahoma City, Long Island, Loyola, Simmons, William and Mary, and Lafayette in that order in the women's varsity pair.
Yeah, what an exciting race this is shaping up to be. All boats almost connected here, except for Lafayette has fallen off the pace just a little bit. Not too much yet, but we are looking at quite a race shaping up here in lanes 2, 3, 4, and 5. So pretty close together here. Loyola, Long Island, Simmons, and Oklahoma City. And I don't even know that we can give the edge to Oklahoma City anymore. Now, they are hanging on here, but we have all 4 of these boats crossing the line within just a couple strokes of each other. So we're going to keep an eye on that race between those middle 4 lanes as we start to come down the course, because all of those 4 are still connected. A little bit of a steering correction here again from Loyola, Maryland. A sister school to Loyola Marymount. I was trying to say that very quickly out in Los Angeles. My alma mater, the Lions out there. So a little shout out to Loyola, Maryland here. And they are, again, making a little bit of a steering correction here, but we will see if they get back in the center of their lane, because we are looking at quite a race here again, shaping up between Long Island, Simmons, and Oklahoma City now for first, second, and third.
Yeah, if you remember from yesterday in their semifinal, that Loyola, Maryland boat was actually out in front for a good portion of that race and was dealing with some steering issues across their lane and ended up ceding the lead to Simmons in the last 250 meters of that race. So interesting to see Loyola still dealing with some steering issues, and at the moment it has dropped them off of the medal stand. We'll see if they can get back into it. They are a pretty quick boat, so there is still a chance for sure that they can climb back into this one. But as we are into our second 500, the pole winners from yesterday and the first semifinal winners from yesterday, Long Island, have moved out into the lead as Oklahoma City went out really quick and is now kind of dropped into that third place spot as Simmons and Long Island have both moved through them here.
Yeah, you know what happened here? Just as you were speaking, I watched them take the rate up just a little bit to a 35, 36 even. So they brought the rate up here and started to make quite a move. And I have to say, this Long Island crew is rowing beautifully. I'm looking at this bow seat here, getting her blade in so beautifully and so carefully, but at the same time so efficiently. So both of them here connecting. We can see their puddles being pushed back pretty far in these nice even cadences here. So this is a sign of some great efficiency. They're connecting on the front end. They've brought the rate up just a little bit, and they did it at exactly the same time. So applying pressure on that front end, that is the catch or the top end of the stroke, at exactly the same time as they bring the rate up, and that is really working for them here. So again, that is Long Island at about a 35, 36, and they are starting to move away here from Simmons, Oklahoma City, and then Loyola, Maryland in fourth. So we're going to keep an eye on this third place race that's happening here between Loyola, Maryland, and Oklahoma City for third place. So right now we're looking at Long Island, and then Simmons with just a couple feet at most here, open water down on Long Island. And then we go over now to Oklahoma City, Loyola, Maryland, and William and Mary.
Yeah, William and Mary making a nice push there out of lane 1 to try and get back into this one. They had dropped off the pack just a tad earlier, but now starting to gain a little bit on this Loyola and Oklahoma City boats. Nice shot there of the field from our crow's nest here. You can see into the third 500. Long Island just outstroking the rest of the field and rowing more efficiently while doing so. Simmons with a solid row here as well, just plucking it along at a solid rate. And you can see Loyola now headed straight down the course. And with the power in that boat, you think that they might be able to sneak onto the medal stand here if they can keep their point straight.
Yeah, you know, Loyola has actually been a little bit conservative too. They seem to kind of bring the rate up a little bit sporadically, so we can see that they're actually making some moves to try to get themselves back in the hunt, perhaps for third. So we do still have quite a race shaping up here between William and Mary, Loyola, Maryland, and Simmons. Oklahoma City just a little bit off of that pack, not too much again, but right now Long Island is still in the lead. Now they are being chased again quite a bit by Simmons and Loyola, so we are going to keep an eye on that. But right now it is Long Island's race to lose.
Looks like our lead boat is just about at the 1,500 meter mark here, entering into the final 500. Looks like Simmons just hit the line there as well. And you can see Oklahoma City on the right-hand side of your screen, the bow person there taking a look over, trying to see where Loyola and William and Mary are at. Again, now focused on competing for that bronze medal. And there's the boat from Lafayette, just about reaching that 1,500 meter mark out of lane 6. And there's a nice shot. And it looks like Loyola has moved into third place and has started to move away from both William and Mary and Oklahoma City. Maybe just about a length lead here for Loyola on Oklahoma City, but you can see they're struggling a bit with their point once again. So hopefully for Loyola, they can get straight for this last 400, 300 meters here and hold off this boat from Oklahoma City as they make a final charge. But Long Island now trying to hold off a surging Simmons. Shot here of Simmons and Long Island. You can see Oklahoma City there also in the distance. We've got just around 100 meters left to go in this one. And look at the rate increase from the lead boat from Long Island. Simmons now steering across their lane. A great push by Simmons to get back into this one. But it seems like Long Island has reacted with their own sprint. And coming into the finish here for the Morrow Bowl, the winner of the women's varsity pair. Few strokes left in it.
At a 38 too. What an incredible move by Long Island and rowing so beautifully. So a 38 strokes a minute takes the gold. Look at the jubilation in that boat, slapping the water. And Simmons coming in second for silver. Loyola in third. Oklahoma City chased very closely by William and Mary, and then we will look to the outside at Lafayette.
8:35 the time for the women's varsity pair there. It's actually faster than their time trial time yesterday for over 1,900 meters by just about 7 seconds. So a great race there by Long Island. Lafayette finishes in 6th.